Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast.
What is up, my dudes? It's Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Today's episode, we are going to be going over cash or trash, talking about which players we're cashing in on and which players we're trashing on. I'm joined by Jordan, Seth, and Phil. Had a nice little underdog draft we did over the weekend, me and Jordan. Go check that out wherever you listen to podcasts or on YouTube at tffdudes. Remember to give us that like and sub, guys. Really helps us out. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Phil, how you doing, man? You hanging in there, buddy? You know,
Seth and Jordan are blood-related firstborn cousins, right? They are cousins.
Yes, not accurate,
okay?
but okay.
Okay, they're cousins. The new Madden game comes out. Seth
it's
used
NCAA.
to be
It's NCAA.
Sorry, new NCAA game comes out.
Knucklehead.
New NCAA game comes out, and Seth used to be just a champion on the sticks. Like the guy,
Absolute champ.
He was almost a professional gamer at one.
And look at him now.
Look at him now. He's on a podcast. Like it's got him where he used to be.
Where's my life gone?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're all asking ourselves that. Look every day looking in the mirror. Anyhow, so he no longer picks up the sticks and plays. I don't know. He's into like what games do you play now, Seth?
He's
like
more into
World
like
of Warcraft, anime games.
I don't really play any games.
Okay. Board games.
Not really.
Okay. So then his cousin Jordan is interested in getting this NC2A game. Instead of just being like, hey, cuzzo, I got you with the hookup. You can have my game. I don't play it anyways. Do a little bit of good deed in the world. He's charging Jordan basically close to full price for his console so that Jordan can play NC2A. And honestly, that just breaks my heart. You guys are podmates, you're cousins. And Seth, you can't go a little bit above and beyond. You basically made fun of the guy for like 20 minutes when you were going over weird things that people do, talking about spoons, coins. You basically dragged his name through the mud for things that people collect that are odd, and then you just make him buy your console for full price. I think that's messed up. Trent, don't you agree?
Well, the cool thing is I bet Seth will buy it back from Jordan for like half price in like a year or two. So it's kind of cool how this is working out. I don't know. I had a guy tell me once, I love my wife, I love my kids, but everything else has a price on it. So if Seth wants to sell that to his cousin, that's fine. I have no problem with it. No qualms.
Here's
this
my
is
thing,
America, Phil.
Seth, we went a
And
long
also,
while.
for context, I know this pod is like straight up lies half the time.
Well,
so-
that's what I was gonna say, Seth. We went a long time without Phil making stuff up for pod content, and we're right back to where he is.
No,
There he
this
goes,
is
making stuff up again.
This
We're not even
Seth
August
was
yet. We're
basically
not even at
released
football
the text.
season, and
Seth-
Phil's still blabbering.
Seth was basically doing an Amazon Prime Day via text message that I shouldn't have been included on. It's like, dude, just do this in via direct message. I don't want to see
you
this.
guys don't have to include us whenever you guys go to the bathroom or whatever it is you guys do. Like it's just weird. A TMI.
Are you interested in 18% off Winky Face? It's like, what are we talking about here? Like, I don't know what's going on. Trent and I are side texting each other, confused as to what's going on. Just do your deals outside of our group message. That's all.
I gave Jordan a really good deal. Okay, he's saving like a couple $100 for sure.
Like here's the text right here. Jordan, I actually have one. I could sell you, but no pressure. Seth, don't hang up the sticks, man. That was from me. Seth, I'll have to factory reset it, but that won't take long. I said NCA's out, be a man. But Seth,
It's
clearly,
mad according to Phil.
Yeah.
So there's context
Super
that was
cultured.
missed. And also I should note that while I didn't have a TV as a child, I did have a monitor in which we played Donkey
That's a
Kong
TV.
N64. No, it was a computer monitor.
It's the same thing.
I
It's a
think
small
I
TV.
No, we couldn't do antenas or get channels. That was the one.
You can hook up an antenna to a monitor.
What did you just say? Can you say that again, Phil?
antenna.
Man, learn how to talk, man. Seriously. No, I say antenna like that too. So it's apparently it's wrong. I had some guys.
That's how
make fun of me
America
for
says it,
yeah.
Jordan. You freak.
Oh, no.
Anyways,
How do you say it? Antenna?
Antenna. ANTENA. Antenna.
my kids won't even know what an antenna is. Is that a fair
I still
point?
use mine.
I think
I
that's a
use
fair
one,
point. I don't
but
think anyone's
it's just-
disagreeing with you, Trent.
Jordan is
Yeah.
the only guy I know who
Hey,
uses one.
shocker of the pod. His kids won't know what an antenna is. Like, thanks.
They probably won't know what a
guys.
CD is either, Trent.
Yeah.
or a
You-
VHS tape. Like,
Yeah. Every time Jordan comes over here to watch the game, he's like, "You don't have an antenna set up?" Like, seriously? And I'm like, "You are the only guy I know with an antenna, Jordan." Like, I don't
because I
know
like
people with
watching
antennas.
games not on delay, Trent. You know,
I
like,
get it,
yeah.
but
I'm gonna
like,
see the game
Commit to the
before
craft,
you.
baby.
Seth, you have an antenna.
No,
I did have one. I will say I didn't have
honestly,
live
it doesn't
TV
really
down in
bother me.
Burbank.
My TV is 10 seconds behind like actual time.
Yeah. That's kind of like how his brain is too, which is weird.
Yeah. All right. Okay. This is all right. This is enough of all this stuff, guys. For those of you this is first time coming to the pod, thank you for tuning in. I have timestamps here in the YouTube notes if you made it this far. Let's get into cash or trash. Like we were saying, we had a couple names we were throwing around on this. You know, Seth wanted to do all kinds of different stuff. I can't remember what it was. We had draft or shaft. We had Phil wanted to do fly or cry. Phil wanted to do money or mother-in-law. We settled on cash or trash.
Money or
so
mother-in-law would have been pretty good.
it just looks terrible as a title. And I think people would be like, what are these guys talking about? This is not fantasy football related. So cash or trash is what it is. Jordan thought that one was the best. If you have a problem, leave a comment on YouTube at tffdudes on YouTube. Let us know what you think, which one was best. Yeah. So Phil, you want to read these off to us? We can kind of go through them, see what we think. We got some other different off-season topics we'll be going through each and every week. And we'll have a mock draft later next week as well. So Phil, go ahead and read these off, buddy.
Okay. All right, let's talk about them. We are going to do quarterbacks first. Let's do at least let's do the first quarterback here. Kirk Cousins, cash or trash?
And I kind of put some slashes in there, and we can kind of throw them all in together.
And it's because of their weapons,
Phil.
a little bit of their weapons, or the core. You want to talk about their core?
I think we can talk about the whole core. We can just see kind of where it goes.
Quarterbacks plus their core: Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. I think that makes it slightly more confusing, but which one are you saying cash and which one are you saying trash? Like, I would say, like, let's focus on Kirk Cousins, but I'll just remind you of his weapons, which I don't think I have to remind you, but sure, we'll go ahead and do that.
No, you never know.
Don't forget that Kyle Pitts, they're talking about putting him in the wide receiver position and not so much the tight end position. Just keep that on your radar, but go ahead and what are you thinking?
Now, with you saying that, Phil, that makes it a little bit more interesting. Like, how many plays does he have to play at tight end for them to be like, hey, this guy's not a tight end or this guy is a tight end? Because the last regimes who draft him at tight end, and honestly, for his pocket, he would rather be a wide receiver. If he moves to wide receiver and it'd be interesting how you would rank him. You might not rank him as high, but he lines up in the slot anyways at times also, right? So
I think they're saying like wide receiver in the same way that you could in theory almost list Travis Kelce as a wide receiver. And I think that's factual.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with cash here. I don't have Kirk high on my rankings, but I think he's going to be good. And when you throw those other guys in, I think even if Kirk Cousins doesn't play, I think Drake London and Kyle Pitts should be good. I think this is finally the year the Kyle Pitts breakout. I've been saying it forever. He had a decent rookie year, even though it was a little bit of a letdown. But I think this is the year that we can cash all those guys on the Falcons. Is anyone different in that? Anything you want to add on that?
I'm not as much. I mean, you can't really say in the middle, but I don't want to say trash, but I'll say cash, but I don't think as heavy as you guys. I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be like a QB you want to target, but if you end up with him, I think it's okay. But I think in a 12-person, 12-team league, I don't think you want him. I think you would rather have 11 other guys or 12 other guys,
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point, Seth.
I'm a buyer on Kirk Cousins. I don't, like Seth said, I don't know about like in a redraft, but I'm a buyer on Kirk Cousins. Is like a 2 quarterback league, a super flex, best ball kind of as a secondary kind of quarter QB2 kind of thing. I don't know if I love Pitts as much as you do, Trent, but I'm big on Drake London. So I'd say cash as a whole, just kind of when you consider ADP and where you're getting them, I think there's solid value on Kirk Cousins, assuming he's healthy.
Yeah.
Do you want to, can I just derail the pod here for 2 seconds since I know this might be potential? Do you know Prop 65? California's Prop 65, where everything and its mother
Yeah.
causes cancer. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Where it says like,
I thought that was
by-
the gambling prop, and as I say, yeah, Jordan has the whole thing memorized.
but
But
basically
keep
like the
going.
buyer beware, like everything. And like, we should actually, this is me creating an idea. We should create a sticker. We should reach out to our buddies over at, what's the name of our sponsor? I can't think of the name, Trent.
Trophy smack.
Sleeper
Trophy Smack.
Trophy Smack.
We should create a sticker for drafts boards that has a prop whatever next to players who we think could struggle this year, and it'd say this player may bring heartbreak, and it should be prop whatever we decide. I actually think that would fly. I don't think people are utilizing props enough in their draft boards, and I think that's something that's completely underutilized. I think that's a great idea.
You want draft board props, is what you're saying.
It needs to be like prop. I'm going to go with my college number and my college football number, prop 43. This player may break your heart, by cuteness, or they just may have a terrible season. Like one of the two, or both could be true. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is a prop 43. That is a great
But you guys
idea,
know what
Phil.
I'm talking about. Prop, like when
Yes.
you buy something that says prop 65, this may cause cancer, but it's literally on everything in California. So it's like,
exactly.
if everything causes cancer, like, what actually does? You know what I'm saying?
Prop
It's
43.
on everything.
It could go on like Devin Achan or something. You know what I'm saying?
It
Like
could go on
possibly
anything.
heartbreak.
Cost
Yes.
you a heartbreak. And now I'm
Yeah.
not against warning people about having warning labels. I'm pro warning label, I think. But I'm just saying I think it's a good idea, right? You're following what I'm saying.
Yeah, warning labels have probably saved your life daily, honestly, knowing you. But what I'm saying is that might be a whole episode, Phil. Fantasy heartbreak. We'll just go guys that are heartbreaks. Boom, right there.
Prop 43.
Prop 43 strikes again. There we go.
All right. You were going to say something
that
that was
one down,
actually
Trent.
fantasy football relevant.
Okay. What were you saying, Jordan?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. All right. I think we're all, as a pod, we are cash on those three guys.
All right. Cash is king. My father-in-law
Yep.
says that all the time. Trent, I know
Straight
you say
cash.
that every once in a while.
Yeah.
All right. Quarterbacks. Russell Wilson I don't know why you put the Steelers. I guess the Steelers overall.
Yeah.
Warren, Pickens, Najee Harris, not listed there, but he's definitely listed in that group. What are we thinking? Jordy, I can almost assume what you're going to say, but I want to hear it anyways.
Trash.
Okay.
All
You
of them?
attach Russell Wilson to something, it's trash.
What if I would have said Justin
And I don't
Fields?
trust that to be a cash. I don't
Okay.
trust anything with Russell Wilson. Like,
Even Jalen Warren.
well, I don't know why we're attaching running backs to quarterbacks, but okay.
Because I don't know, mainly just the Steelers offense. So I guess you're right there. So you're out on Pickens because Russell Wilson, like I think I'm going on the trash side here too, Jordan. But Russ was what, QB 15 last season? Like he wasn't as bad as what we thought. He looked like he had a little bit left. In
Quarterback
the tank
was awful last year. Half the quarterbacks didn't even play like half the season. So like I don't know. And there's a threat of Justin Fields there as well. So like I don't know what to expect.
I think it's
I don't
easy
even
trash.
Yeah, it's easy. Like
Easy trash. I was so high on Pickens last year, and I want to be high on him again. I think his ADP is not terrible where he's going to where last year I think he kind of was going higher on draft boards. And does Brandon Ayuk go there? Does that change anything? Brandon Ayuk, there's a little bit of drama with him.
Russell Wilson is trash. Russell
Wilson
Wilson
this on
trash.
Tuesday night and not Wednesday night. This is coming out on Thursday, so this will be a little late. So we don't know what's happened to Brandon Ayuk, or if something else crazy happened
for a trade.
Yes, but that's all we know. It's all we know. So, all right, trash there.
But
Phil, are you going to talk about how he's brought up boxing? Phil, you going to bring that up?
He's looking good. He is looking pretty darn good. He's in shape. He's he can hit the pads. I think he can do a 1, 2, 3. Maybe I don't know what he's doing. I think you just posted
head
that.
body.
Was he doing like some mitt work? Is that what you posted?
Yeah, no, but I guess he got really into boxing like his last couple years on the Seahawks. And then when he went to Denver, or his last year, COVID happened in Denver, he quit boxing and now he's back with his boxing trainer. So there's a little bit of rumblings like maybe this was the missing thing, maybe he's, back in the lab and maybe that helps him. I don't know. So, but as of right now, I'm saying trash.
Boxer.
Dude, I know.
That guy's a big time boxer. Isn't that Pacquiao's trainer? I think he was working with.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
What's his name? I know his name. I don't know why. He's in LA though. He has Ace Boxing. I think you're wrong about that, Trent. I don't think you know what you're talking about on that one.
Okay, well, while you're going to the next one, I'll look up who Russell Wilson's boxing coach is.
All right, next one: Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Setherton, cash or pass? Cash or trash? Sorry,
Freddie Roach, Phil.
Oh, so he was training with Freddie Roach. All right, you're right. You're
All
right.
right. Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
Nothing new.
I'm gonna go with Cash here. I think Stafford has a comeback. I think the only reason why last year he didn't do good was because he was hurt. The 22.5 passing touchdowns, I think that's an easy over.
You got Underdog pulled up, Seth? With
I got
props on these
Underdog
guys?
pulled up. Underdog
Stafford's
22.5 passing touchdowns on the season. I think that's an easy over.
All right. Promo code dudes, guys, will match up to $100 there. Head over to Underdog Fantasy. Helps us out. Do some best ball. Do some of these props. Seth's reading them. 22.5. I do think that cash is easy. Jordan,
we play 18 weeks, 17 games. Like, he throws one a week and he's at 17. He needs a couple weeks with 2. Like, it's not hard. There's going to be games where he throws 4,
I don't know if he threw 4 at all last year.
Okay, well, he will probably this year.
He was also
throw
hurt.
4.
Okay,
so
he'll do it at least once, probably.
So he played every game but one last year.
He was injured though.
He was banged up though, Jordo.
Played every game but 2. He played 16 games last year, had 24 touchdowns. He had a lot of games with only 1 touchdown pass. I'm just trying to play.
I will say he was hurt. Cooper Kupp was hurt. I think with both guys, like, and with their passing game, like as a running back, like I think the Rams are going to be kind of sneaky good this year. At least their offense.
I don't know if Stafford's going to be physically hurt this year. He might be a little heartbroken though, but there's been a lot of drama going on with off-field drama with him.
Yeah, I think they're okay though, right? His wife just gets a little wild on the podcast sometimes.
Gets a little wild sometimes, so I don't know.
Yeah. What about what's a Kyron Williams prop on their Seth, like touchdowns?
Let's see here.
I don't know if that's something fast you can pull up there.
But I do like Stafford for what it's worth. I think it's a cash. He's in that Kirk Cousins realm for me of like, I think there's good value as like a super QB2 super flexed or secondary stack in best ball.
Would it be crazy to say Stafford? Could Stafford win comeback player of the year this year? Has he fallen far enough to do something like that or no? He threw 24 TDs last year. Maybe that's not a big enough drop for somebody unless he has like an MVP caliber season, maybe.
Then he would probably win comeback, and then he would win MVP and not comeback player. But
probably, you're probably right, man. Phil,
it's okay, Trent. You tried.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next, Phil?
I wanted to see. Do we see Kyron? Go ahead.
It's a 9.5 season.
9.5 for Kyron. Okay,
that seems kind of high.
5 rushing yards.
I don't know where he's getting
about
drafted.
Right.
He's getting drafted. Yeah. Wouldn't you say if you drafted Kyron in what, 2nd round, 3rd round, is that kind of his ADP right now? You say second?
Second round, right?
Yeah, you're kind of hoping he gets that 10 TD. I guess if it was like 11.5,
he had 12. He had 12 last year in a good year. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we only played 11 games. So
yeah,
doesn't the Justin Jefferson 8.5 receiving TDs seem like a smash?
The 8.5 Justin
quarterback
Jefferson.
JJ McCarthy.
He's also not a notorious touchdown guy. Like he's kind of just big yards guy. Like,
hey, that running back prop said on the Kyron Williams, is that a receiving or rushing or both? Or just total touchdown?
Rushing 975. There's no receiving prop.
No touchdown. The touchdown prop.
It's just 9.5 rushing touchdowns.
Rushing.
Nothing, not total.
Okay. What do we got next?
All right, moving on here. Yeah, sorry about that. CJ Stroud and his core there. And
I love CJ Stroud. I can't get behind the ADP, and I've even put stuff on X like CJ Stroud or Patrick Mahomes, stuff like that, and people are going crazy. I know I had Stroud really high in my quarterback rankings. I think I'm going to push him down. I love his weapons though too, but I I don't know if I can go that high on a second-year player is like what he's doing, even though he looks so good. The
I think
dig
it's still
stuff,
cash though.
I think it's still cash, but I don't know. Like, are
I
you gonna
still
be
think
happy?
he can. I still think he can be a top 5 QB, Trent.
Yeah, you're right.
I
And with
I
Diggs.
think he's a cash. I think his receivers are not a cash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the receivers are unproven yet. Although
There's just a lot of
I think they're still intriguing though. Like you're gonna hit on one of the three and be pretty happy.
The problem is where you're getting them. I think they're just too in their ADP's inflated all three of them.
Yeah.
Mhm. And the other thing with, it's a weird one there with Mixon too. Like it's a weird dynamic there. I think the Texans can be pretty good. Stroud can be good. I just the ADP is what's throwing me off on Stroud. That we did a mock draft a couple weeks ago, and I think I took him in the 3rd round. I didn't feel good about it after as well as I thought I would. But I'm gonna say cash. I think it's just too easy. And I threw Diggs in there's why I did that. But there's sophomore slumps happen sometimes.
His passing touchdown prop is at 28.5.
Okay.
4150 yards.
Okay. So, all right. I just always want to take the over on these things. That's where my problem is. With the
you're an
over
over
It's
guy.
a lot, man.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
mean he had
mean-
20. He had 23 last year in a great year.
Yeah.
Pretty
He missed
high.
what, 4 games?
Played 15, so I only missed 2.
Only missed 2. Okay. What do we got?
All right, moving to running backs. Mr. Squatting, what is it, 585? The week out,
5 plates at easily. 5
I think it was
plates
6,
or less.
wasn't it? Six on each side. Yeah, 6 on each side.
We doing cash or trash on Nick Chubb?
Cash or trash. Nick Chubb.
I'm cash here. Cash here, especially where he's getting drafted. I think it's a big cash for me.
Seth.
I'm gonna go cash as well. I think your ADP you can get for him is really good. Like Jordan's saying, if you can get Nick Chubb in the later rounds and just hopefully you think the rest of your like league is just not even thinking about Nick Chubb, like you can get him really late and he can end up being your best running back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Seth, on the underdog draft that Trent and I did, he went round 14, Trent? 13, 14?
Yeah, he went late.
See, that's
Yeah.
absurd. Like I actually don't understand that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there's something we're missing, like because of that. I don't know.
No, I will say now that he did the, what does it have here? I'm just looking at it right here.
I think it's like 585.
Yeah, it just says 24 is built different. The bar is bending altogether. I think that I think his ADP goes up after people watch him squat.
For
And I
sure.
think by the time
Probably.
drafts run around in home leagues, I think everyone's have seen that video, and your father-in-laws will be like, "Hey, I saw this guy can squat 6 plates," and then he's going to draft him in like the 3rd round. But what I'm saying is like as of right now, if home leagues were drafting, I think he's going like past the 8th round easily, and I think that's a steal, especially with you draft a guy in the 14th round like that, Jordan. Like you can drop him, you don't care if it doesn't work out. Like the ADP is so worth it.
The only reason he won't get what you're saying is people in home leagues rely on the preset rankings. You know?
that's
So
true.
they're not gonna go search for Nick Chubb. So like it depends how high he flies up some of that stuff.
Personally, I'm gonna have trouble passing on Nick Chubb in like the 5th round. And
I think that
sleeper,
would be bad though. You don't want to draft him that early. There's no reason.
you think
to.
that's too early?
There's no reason to, Trent. If
this
he's
is
gonna
a guy-
fall,
Yeah, but this is a guy that last year was going in the 1st round. Like I think anywhere outside of the top 4 rounds is a very huge steal for a guy that
but
could
it's
finish.
not Trent if he's getting drafted in the 10th, 11th round.
I think
You're
maybe after the
overreaching on the
6th. I think like the 6th, 7th round. 7th round's probably a pretty good spot.
Hey, he said he was cash, guys. Let him go 4th. Let him
Just
go.
let me
5th
live my
round.
life.
I want to
Let him
find
live,
where
Cash app, straight cash, homie.
Yeah. And the other
Ocho
other thing
Cinco.
I want to start doing in my leagues is removing ADP from sleeper on my drafts and start doing
Yes.
alphabetical order to make home league guys more home league guys, not just guys going off ADP and stuff
Make
like
him
that.
actually do research before they show up.
Remove
guys
the
do
training
research.
wheels.
Yeah, take off the training
Take off the
wheels.
bumpers.
Yeah,
You know, in our other
exactly.
league, we went back to a sticker board and we made people show up with paper. It was actually really fun.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb went in the 12th round, Trent, in our underdog draft.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's great value. Okay, so I think
All
we're all
right.
saying cash there.
All right,
100%.
moving on here. We got Saquon Barkley. I am going to start with Trent. I haven't started with you yet. What do you think? Cash or trash?
Man, you had to go with me on this one. I know everyone's like huge cash on Saquon Barkley. I think what's his ADP? It's what, second round, third round? I'm going to say cash here.
Yeah.
I just don't know what I'm getting out of Jalen Hurts. Like I feel like I'm low on the Eagles, but I'm always low on the Eagles, and that's my problem. It's just my Cowboys bias kicking in. Is Barkley? I think we plays a whole year. I think you got to say cash for Barkley, especially where he's going. Like 2 years ago, he was around one guy. You know where he's going in drafts, I think is pretty good.
Here,
Like
let me
Jordan
just
talked. We've talked about Kenneth Gainwell too, but that's not a huge threat.
I'll
What's
put this
that?
in perspective too. I think it's a cash, but Saquon's line of rushing touchdowns is 7.5, and Hurts is at 10.5.
On rushing
So,
touchdowns.
Rushing touchdowns. Hurts is at 10.5. Saquon's is at 7.5. Just put it in perspective. The Vegas still thinks Hurts is going to run 11 touchdowns.
See, with that makes me not want to say cash as much, but I know he has all the receiving ability and stuff like that. But if you
his yard
if you
total
draft,
is still at like 1150.
Mm-hmm.
if you draft Jalen Hurts or if you draft Saquon and Jalen Hurts gets 11 rushing touchdowns, are you happy? You're probably pretty happy still.
Just depends.
But yeah, those touchdowns are nice to have from running backs, and I don't really trust Eagles running backs with how Jalen Hurts gets all the rushing touchdowns. What are you saying, Jordan? What do you think?
I think he's a cash, but I think it's not as like a easy one. I think you have to think about it. I mean, I think he's a cash. I was just trying to find out what Eagles running backs kind of have done over the last.
I think the situation I am in is like if you're in the right ADP spot and Saquon's the right pick, for you to have, like, I think it's hard to pass him up. But I think if you have the opportunity to grab a different running back who won't be hampered by a quarterback running in touchdowns, I think you can try to do that and sacrifice maybe some yards on a worse offense, but maybe for more touchdown equity. I think that's a fair assessment. So
last year the Eagles had 7 rushing touchdowns by running backs.
Yeah. DeAndre Swift got tackled close to the 1 yard line a lot too.
Yeah. And
maybe
had
Saquon
15.
scores a couple of those.
So did Swift? Swift, I think, had 5 of those, right? And then Kenneth Gainwell had 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, Swift had over 1,000 yards rushing still.
Mm-hmm. So it's not. But what I'm saying is would you rather take? Let's say Saquon has 5 rushing touchdowns next year, just like Swift, or let's say he has 7. That's not bad. That probably boosts him a little bit more. But would you rather just take Nick Chubb in the 10th? Let's say Nick Chubb goes in the 10th. You could get you get a wide receiver there in the second, get Nick Chubb later. Would you rather have Nick Chubb or Saquon? It's probably a lot thinking about right now. Yeah.
I mean,
probably value Chubb, right, Jordan?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're at
value Chubb for sure.
No, because the role is way clearer with Saquon.
Yeah. No, it's clear with Chubb.
No, it's not. There's Jerome Ford's there.
But Kenneth Gainwell is. I think Kenneth Gainwell eats into Saquon more than Jerome Ford eats into Chubb.
Saquon's going to have a bigger role than what Swift had last year. I'm pretty confident about that.
Yeah, I am.
And
too.
so Gainwell didn't eat into. So I have it here. Swift had 229 carries. Gainwell had 84. Jerome Ford was the lead back for the Browns last year. I think the role is way less clear for Chubb coming off an ACL. Like, I like Chubb where he's being drafted, but I don't know if even like point per dollar value wise, like Chubb is better than Saquon. So, and there's way more of a receiving game, pass catching game with Saquon than there is with Chubb. I know Chubb was being used more last year, like that was going to trend towards that way. But I would assume like Ford gets most of that pass catching work. Like, there's no way Chubb's going to be a 3-down back right off the jump. Saquon can be a 3-down back right off the jump.
You're right. You're right.
I think Saquon is still a better value than Chubb.
I would agree. Better
All right.
offense.
Well, while we're there, before we get the next one, guys, remember to give us a like, give us a sub, give us a rating. There's a little burrito I had last Saturday.
Can I hold on? Can I ask you?
That was today, wasn't it? That is so sad.
No, we are not putting Trent. We can't advertise that picture.
Seth, with that burrito that Trent had in that photo, that's the one that he said was super hot, right?
Oh no, that thing. No.
Today.
It was no.
Okay.
I took that on Saturday. It was hot. Seth, did you have that one? Did Marco get you one?
Yeah, I did. Marco did give me one, and it was very good. I will say it was hotter than I was expecting, but like I could hear Trent across the room going, and he's like crying.
Hot or spicy hot?
Spicy.
Like he was.
You could add more hot sauce to that, Trent.
That was ketchup.
Sauce. Yeah, I know. You replace the ketchup with hot sauce, or don't eat anything.
Embarrassment.
Just eat the
It's
thing
just
straight.
sad. I'm just like, why would
I
you do that?
You know what? Don't dock it till you try it. Go to the next one.
No, I will
Trent's
dock
the kind of guy to
dock
dip like Doritos.
I bet you guys would try it. I
ranch.
could be like, "Hey guys, I made some hot sauce," and like blindfold you and be like, "Ah, it's not that bad."
No, because ketchup doesn't taste like hot sauce, Trent.
You could throw. There's spicy ketchup. I've from Whataburger.
That does not.
That ketchup
hot sauce.
is actually kind of hot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It just makes me so mad that the guy is just breathing like that in an office. Like, be a professional, go to the bathroom, like excuse yourself from the situation. Like, people shouldn't have to be annoyed by your
Okay.
your
All right.
breath.
Stood
So
up
this
and
was
there was like
Saturday?
drool going onto his keyboard.
This was
He had a
Saturday.
bib. He's like, "Where'd you get that bib, Trent?"
This was on a Saturday, so it was like flip-flops and tank top weather at the office. So Seth acts like the place was full, like, and people were on the phones. Like, no, not like that at all. Seth stretching the truth. I'm sure no one is shocked listening to this.
All right,
Phil,
moving
go to the
on.
next one.
Austin Ekeler.
Cash.
I'm going trash here. I think this will be the first disagreement
Seth,
on the pod on
break
this.
break the tie here.
Where did he go on Underdog in our draft, Jordan? He went pretty late.
You guys are not gonna like this line. I think Jordan would smash this line. It's 399 receiving yards, 399 rushing yards.
Ooh.
What's the total yards line? Is
There's
it a
no
little bit
total
more?
yards line yet, but
I might take that.
so, but honestly, the Commanders are just the Commanders, man. Like, I don't know.
Round 11, Trent. So a round
Round
before
11.
Chubb.
See, that doesn't make sense. But I think I'll go cash, maybe based on the value you can get them for. I don't even know if that's even a good answer.
I know. I'm not. Yeah, I think the Brian Robinson. I think is going to be. I think that's what scares
give
people.
me one reason.
Brian
Reason
Robinson
why
got
Brian
shot.
Robinson.
That's why.
Because he's tough.
Scott,
I think you don't think Brian Robinson will be good. I guess Ekeler is the
you-
pass catching guy, but I'm going to go with the younger guy. I guess he had hype last year too, though.
He's like 2 years younger, Trent.
Yeah, and we've talked about this with running backs. They're like dog years. Like it's more than you think.
He's 25 years old. Like, he's not young.
Trent has a problem
This
with his
is what
height
he's done.
again.
Like, Trent, he had 100. This is what Brian Robinson has done in the last 2 years: 797 yards, 733 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns. Absolutely zero. I mean, he had a little bit more involvement in the pass game last year, so he had 36 catches for 368 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
but his
going to
boy
be
was
behind.
chucking.
They're
They're
going to be behind in games. They're going to throw still. I don't know. I don't get why you like Brian Robinson so much.
I don't really like him either. I just like him more than Ekeler. Like, I don't think I'm going to be leaving a lot of drafts with either of them.
I mean, we've kind of hashed and rehashed the.
You're right. All right. Moving on to the Titans and Tony Pollard. Seth, are we cashing or trashing?
Trash.
Jordan,
Trash.
Trent, I know you're kind of hurt on
I
that
really want Tajay Spears to be good. I have him in some dynasty leagues. I think I'm going to cash this one because Pollard actually did look a little bit better. I heard from the end of the season a little bit. He didn't score versus the Dolphins. I just don't really like the Titans either, though. But I do think Pollard is going to be the lead guy there. I think they paid him, and I think where he's going, I think he's okay.
Okay.
But I'm going to say
Trent,
trash because I'm not going to draft him. I'm going to say I'll say trash. I'll make it easy. I'm not going to draft him.
Say it, Jordan. Say what you want to say. I think
no,
Is
you
that
have
the
it.
right?
gonna
Is that
say,
the right way to do it, Jordan? Is that the right way?
No, if he was gonna say cash, I was gonna get mad at him because it didn't make any sense when he was cashing and trashing. Real quick, go back to the Austin Ekeler thing. In a bad year last year, we all agreed Austin Ekeler had a bad year, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He still had 5 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, 630 rushing yards, and 435 receiving yards.
That's
In
a bad year though for a guy who went number 2 overall.
Well, yeah, but he's not going number 2 overall now.
So the ADP,
You're saying that you'd rather draft a guy coming off a torn ACL who also went way high last year over Ekeler. That doesn't make any sense. Like Ekeler, and 2 years before that, he had 25 touchdowns in the previous 2 years before that.
Yes.
I'll just leave it at that.
Got a point.
Thanks, brother. All right, DeAndre
You're welcome.
Swift, cash or trash? Jordan, you were chatting. You were miking it up. You were using your sure there.
Chirping.
This is a tough one.
Chirping.
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go trash.
Ooh.
On the Bears,
Dang.
right? Bears running
The
back.
Bears.
I'm going trash
Yeah.
also. I'm taking 0 DeAndre Swift. It'd have to be the absolute perfect.
The Bears are
ADP.
going to throw the ball.
Yeah. Trash.
Sethy.
Well, it's not. Go ahead, Seth. Sorry.
I'll say trash, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not against it. I don't know.
They also have Khalil Herbert. They have Roshan Johnson. Johnson they drafted
It's true.
a year ago. So like they have guys there. I think they gave DeAndre Swift a decent contract, right? Like, I wish I could see what it is. I don't have it
Pretty
up
sure
right
it's
now.
pretty good.
Yeah, they signed
So,
him
I
to
mean-
a decent contract. Yeah.
I don't know how much they run the ball. They were a nightmare for running backs last year. DeAndre Swift is just very frustrating in general. And I think they're gonna throw the ball. I don't know. I don't love it.
I'm going trash.
All right, moving
I'll
on
stick
here.
with
We are
it.
stepping into our wide receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think it's an absolute cash.
I think it's a cash. But
Okay, you want lines first.
yeah, give me. Don't give me lines. I'm just going cash or trash off of whether I'm going to draft him on my team. I actually think he's going to be good. I will not draft a rookie in the second round though, unless it's a
ADP,
running back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Does anyone disagree with that? Like, I think he's gonna be good.
The year I drafted Jamar Chase as a rookie, it was pretty good. I think that's a bad
What
take.
round was it?
as a
What round
rookie.
was it, Jordan?
Well, I mean, we're talking 6 or 7, but like,
Yeah. So I said I'm not drafting a rookie in the second round. Is what I said.
I don't really know what that has. Why?
I said I'll take a rookie rookie running back early.
But
like that,
why
and
would
then we
you,
get the ball.
like? What does a rookie? What is a rookie wide receiver?
I don't want a guy that's just unproven. Like I like a little bit of tread on the tires. And I think your take with Jamar Chase is he was going back with his college quarterback. Like there was some repertoire there.
I don't know what that
Or
is.
was Chase?
There was some
Yeah.
rapport is what you were looking for.
Yeah.
That's all right. No, I knew
Was
your head
Chase drafted the year before Burrow, Jordan, or after? I think he was after.
It was
the year.
after.
He was
sat
after,
out.
but I'm saying that I don't think that really had. So Trent, I mean, you saying so? Are you saying that like you don't think rookie wide receivers can have good years? I don't.
No,
I don't
I'm not
really-
saying
I
that. I'm
don't-
saying I don't want to draft a rookie wide receiver before the third round. Really, the first 2 rounds I
But
don't
why?
want a rookie.
I'm asking why.
Because I want some tread on the tires. I want to see what I'm getting. I don't want to just take a gamble on a guy like that early.
I mean,
in the
Marvin
draft.
Harrison Jr. is like the best. We've seen.
No, I
him.
know,
We've seen him
and they're
play.
saying he's looks like a freak at practice. I just want to wait and see him before I start taking guys like that. And I just think
Okay,
he's going too early. I probably would take him in the third. I'm not taking him in the second. If he was on the turn in the third, I would do it.
That being said,
so what you're saying, Trent, is it's more of just a feeling. Like you have no data to back it up. It's just a feeling.
I think though, if you go like double wide receiver first, second round, like I think he's a good number 2 receiver to have.
That's true, Seth. That's true.
Like I think if you have I don't know. I think it's fair. I don't know if I want him as my number 1 receiver.
I tend to agree. Like the funny thing is, I tend to agree with Trent that it's a trash, but I just think
why did you say that then?
Because I don't agree with his logic. I think his logic is dumb. Like that's not a reason not to draft somebody. Like he's a rookie wide receiver. Like I think
you guys all thought JSN was going to be really good last year too, and I didn't. I just don't do rookie wide receivers. Like it's just not something I want to do.
Like we've seen rookies come in the league. I mean,
I know. I wish I took Puka in the second.
Well, okay, that's my point though is that I lean trash just because I don't know. I still am questioning with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I like where he's being drafted. I like him as a fantasy quarterback because of his rushing upside, but I don't necessarily trust him as a quarterback throwing the ball. How much do they run the ball? They still have James Conner there. And then it's not like they don't have anybody else. Like they have Michael Wilson's there who had a good year last year. They have Trey McBride, who's going to take a lot of volume, I think. They have Zay Jones, who signed over from Jacksonville, who we know that Phil loves.
Let's go.
Craig Dortch has done good things in the past there.
Dortch.
So they kind of have other guys. They have a really, really good tight end, probably one of the top 5 tight end in fantasy football, and Trey McBride. So I just think there's other guys there. I don't know if he gets the volume that people say he does. I think people expecting like a huge target share. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't trust Kyler Murray. Like I said, I think so. Like I think he's just being drafted a little high for me. So I think it's trash. But I think he's an extremely supremely talented. Like if Marvin Harrison would have been like if he had somehow got drafted to a team with an elite quarterback, I'd draft him in the first round. Like I think he's that talented. I just don't believe in Kyler Murray.
Yeah. While we're here,
assessment.
Okay, let's do this. Seth, give us the line, then Phil go into Trey McBride. We'll just knock 2 birds out with 1 stone. But go, Seth.
Here. Trey McBride only has a receiving yard prop at 750.5.
Okay.
So
I was asking.
You mean
I was
you wanted
asking
me
for
to go
Marvin.
to Calvin Ridley? What do you want?
No, I was going to have Seth do Trey McBride while we were on the Cardinals, and I wanted to get the line for Marvin Harrison.
Oh,
Does that make sense? Is that too confusing?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Seth, you have Marvin Harrison's line?
Yeah, it's just loading.
I have
Okay.
it. 6.5
Good.
receiving touchdowns, 1,075.5 receiving yards, 6.5 receiving TDs on Underdog.
I like his touchdowns.
Yeah,
more
I
than
think
his
touchdowns
receiving
good.
yards.
Okay. Trey McBride.
Cash.
I think he's cash, and where he's going, I think is good. And I think Trey
he
McBride
fits.
could be your argument for Marvin Harrison Jr., like you said, Jordan.
See, that's the reason, not him being a rookie. But like the Trey McBride, like
Experience.
what he does and what the routes that he runs, like it fits Kyler Murray, right? Like that in the middle of the field, not having to make the throws to the outside, the long throws, the easy throws in the middle, can be that release valve for Kyler. Kind of that short stuff when he's going out of the pocket, rolling out of the pocket. I like Trey McBride quite a bit. I mean, the guy had 81 catches for 825 yards last year. Only 3 touchdowns. I'd assume there's a little more touchdowns coming his way. But and really, he didn't even play like the first 4 or 5 games. Zach Ertz started most of those games. So I like Trey McBride quite a bit. And he's a warrior. The guy would like go down to the locker room and come back in the game every single time. Gotta love a guy like that.
He might just have had to go to the bathroom, honestly, because it happens so much.
I think the guy had concussion and came back in the game. Trent.
Okay, Seth, go. Yeah,
That's unhealthy.
Same thing. Same thing happened to Lamar. Apparently, go, Seth.
I'm gonna say cash. I think he's a top 5 tight end. Easy.
All right, what we got next, Phil?
All right, moving on. Our next wide receiver here, Calvin Ridley. Jordan, I'm going to go with you. You're a Ridley guy.
Trash.
Okay.
I don't trust Will Levis. He's not the number one wide receiver. I think he's the number 2. I'm not sure about that.
Do we know? Yeah, it's kind of a weird.
So I don't really love that. Yeah, I mean, you got Tyler Boyd, Calvin Ridley. You got Tyler Boyd, DeAndre Hopkins, Treylon Burks still there. Nick Westbrook-Akeen, who I know they liked in the past. They have the tight end Chig. I don't like it.
Yeah. I'm going trash because I'm not drafting this guy. Last year we pumped him up so much. And with me saying that, he'll probably be really good if I don't draft him, because every time I draft him, he's absolutely terrible. Last time I drafted him before last year, he quit in the middle of the season. So, Seth, what do you think?
I'm gonna go trash as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jordan said. I just don't know the Titans. I just don't think are going to be good.
Okay, what we got next, Phil?
Yeah, next we have Mike Williams.
Interesting.
I think his ADP. I'm always down for a late round flyer on Mike Williams. I'm always down for that.
What's his ADP?
He's on the Jets. ADP on Mike Williams is, Seth. While I'm looking this up, you want to
4.5 receiving touchdowns, 750.5 receiving yards.
ADP on Mike Williams he's not. I don't think he's not even in the top 40. Jordan.
What's
I don't
Rodgers
really
throwing prop?
I thought it was pretty high, Seth, when I was looking.
Honestly, I thought it was lower, Phil, than what I thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah.
guys. I think Mike Williams might be like the 4th best wide receiver on his team.
Yeah.
Behind who do we got there? Garrett Wilson.
So you're saying cash, Jordan?
No,
That was a bad
Signed him in
joke.
the offseason.
I mean, like Garrett Wilson, of course. I think Alan Lazard is better than Mike Williams.
Well, maybe just because of him with
And
I'm
I'm
not
a
seeing the
big
ADP.
Malachi Corley guy. Huge
Oh, are you?
Malachi Corley guy. Guy was a stud at Western Kentucky, touchdown machine. I think he's the 4th best wide receiver there.
Okay.
And Xavier Gibson is good in the slot, man. He was good last year for them too. I'm not. I know you're a Mike Williams guy, Trent. I'm just not.
You just think that, so you think they paid him this and it's just going to be a depth piece, probably not someone you could ever play, not a streamer.
What would they give? I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying my.
No,
I mean, if he's gonna start
when
for-
you
is he gonna-
you saying that, I've always just been a Mike Williams truther. Like, I always like where you can get him in drafts, but he might not even get drafted. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, because he's at worst, he signed a 1-year, $10 million, Trent. So there's not like a huge. I think it's 8.3 guaranteed, but it's a 1-year contract. So, but I mean, at best, he's the 2nd best wide receiver, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't love it.
Rodgers' passing line is 27.5.
It's too high.
Okay.
So, I mean, there might be touchdowns to spread around. Mike Williams lines at 4.5.
If you tell me that Mike Williams plays every game next year, I probably will take the over. But the chances of him playing every game next year is like 25%.
He usually doesn't do it. Okay, what we got next, Phil?
All right, moving on here. Our last wide receiver closing us out, Marquise Brown.
Okay.
This one's interesting for sure.
I'm gonna go cash on Marquise Brown.
I lean cash. I lean like cash on the Chiefs wide receivers. Like, I think that there's going to be 1 to 2 of Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, and Marquise Brown that are all really good. I just think picking the 2 out of the 3 is really hard. Assuming Rashee Rice misses no games, I think it's hard to figure out like which 2 of those 3 is going to have really good years. Because I think they will have good years. Like, I just don't know. So, like, but I lean Marquise Brown kind of being the number 1 for Patrick Mahomes.
I'm leaning him as 1 for 2 behind Kelsey, I guess. What, Seth?
His line is 750 yards and 4.5 touchdowns.
I like the yards.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, moving on to the tight ends here. Trey McBride.
We already
already
did that
Yeah,
one.
we already did that
Skipped
one. Sorry.
Yeah,
My
You're
apologies.
good.
My apologies. Mark Andrews.
I think he's still got to cash Mark Andrews. Like, I think he's still going in the right spot. I'm a huge, though, like Mark Andrews, like sucker. Like, I'll get him every single year. You know what I mean? Like, I see that name there loading up on the ADP and I draft him. I think where he's going, I think it's a good spot. And it's easy to stack Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson. So I might even. I think I'm going to end up drafting Mark Andrews again. So I know he's getting a little old. Know he had an injury, but I'm saying cash on Mark Andrews. But Jordan, I'm thinking you're probably like you'd rather have Trey McBride over Mark Andrews. It's probably what I would say. So I'm guessing.
I'd rather have Trey McBride. I'd rather have Sam LaPorta. I think that's obvious. The question is, do I rather have Dalton Kincaid or Mark Andrews? I think I lean Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah.
I think
You got to
Mark
reach
Andrews
a little more on Kincaid, though.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't. Just depends. Yeah, I lean. This is tough for me. I'm like very neutral on this one. Don't really feel good about it either way.
Mm-hmm. Seth. What do you think on Andrews?
I think it's still a cash. Like, I still think he has top 5 tight end potential. I do think, though, if you have to reach for him to be like your number 2 like receiving player, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, I think he's going to go later in drafts. Is what I think this year.
What round do you think?
I'm thinking 5th.
I think that's
he's normally third.
So are you taking Andrews over Kincaid and McBride?
I think those guys might go before him. I think
won't.
I think Kincaid will. I don't think McBride will.
No,
I think
McBride's gonna go ahead of Kincaid. I think Kincaid will go after those two, clearly.
Okay. I think I don't think I would take Andrews over those guys, but I don't think I'm going to take those guys over Andrews, if that's what I'm saying, if you get what I'm saying there. I think I would wait. If Andrews was there and those guys were there, I think I'd wait and see if I can get him in the next pick.
Okay, well, what if I tell you none of them are going to be available at your next pick? Who are you taking?
I would take Kincaid.
Okay.
Kincaid's who I would
take.
You
should be, okay.
Yeah, Kincaid. Because I think Kincaid could be the number 1 in Buffalo. That's what I think.
Okay.
And then I threw this one on here, Phil. Maybe you don't want to read it. I know it's your guy, but I got Sam LaPorta on here.
No, I think this is an easy. I think if you pass on this one, you're crazy.
I think you're stupid.
Yeah. What do you think? Jordan's gonna pass.
I think it's cash.
I think it's trash.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying, Jordan. I think LaPorta is good, but like he's going ahead of Travis Kelce. He's number 1 tight end off the board. Do you want to be the guy who takes the first tight end in your draft? And that's why I'm saying it's trash, is because I don't want to take the first tight end in my fantasy football draft, no matter how good Sam LaPorta is. And do we think he can repeat what he did last year? Like, the Lions are loaded. We were talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. We've been talking about, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, something's got to give in this offense. Like, do we think? I think this guy, LaPorta is still good. I don't like his ADP.
He's going almost like a full round ahead of Kelce in some things. Like, I think, I agree. I'm not saying he's a bad player. By all means, I'm not saying that.
I get what you're saying.
To have him above Kelce, like point per dollar, like McBride, Kincaid. Trent thinks Kyle Pitts could be something this year. And Njoku was really good last year. If Ayuk's not playing with the Niners, George Kittle. Like, there's a lot of, Evan Ingram's been solid, really good the last few years. Like, I think I'd rather take Kincaid or McBride in the 5th, 6th round than Sam LaPorta in the borderline 2nd, 3rd round. Like,
why, though?
Because I don't want to take LaPorta in the 2nd
tight end, and tight end is the strongest it's ever been. This might be the strongest tight end season ever. Like, Dallas Goedert ranked out to the top 10 at tight end. TJ Hawkinson. I know we have because of JJ McCarthy. Brock Bowers is an elite talent at the tight end position. Jake Ferguson's been really good for Dallas last year. David Njoku. I mean,
I just don't think he's not going to repeat on his TDs, but the guy is a TD machine. Like they get down to the red zone and Goff looks for LaPorta almost as much as Mahomes is looking for Kelsey. Like LaPorta is a TD machine. If they get to the red zone, there's like a good chance that LaPorta is going to get one of those 3 targets.
Seth, do you have the line on LaPorta?
I don't have it pulled up.
I think it was 7.5 for TDs, but let me pull it up real quick.
7.5,
so
850. I think 7.5 might be a cash though.
LaPorta had 10 touchdowns last year in his first year. My counterpoint, Phil, to you is that you said like Travis Kelce. We've seen Travis Kelce do this for years and years in a row. We've seen LaPorta do it for 1 year.
No, you're not. You're not wrong. You're not totally not wrong. But he did have a Travis Kelce style season.
The role was there for. Sorry,
the role was there for the role was there for him. But Goff loves him in the end zone. And didn't they just get rid of their tight end? Didn't they just get rid of their other tight end?
Yeah, but to counter your point,
they got rid of their backup tight end.
LaPorta had 5 touchdowns in college. Granted, he played for Iowa, where they're like
their QB was trash.
Like they don't even know what offense is at Iowa football. But like, I'm just saying, so like it's not like like I agree LaPorta is really good, but I mean, I think Njoku had 10 touchdowns last year. Njoku was a touchdown machine last year.
Yeah,
like I mean,
I'm not going to Njoku.
So you'd rather take Njoku in the 8th round or LaPorta in the 2nd round?
I would rather take Ferguson over both of those guys, probably wherever he goes.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, depth of tight end is ridiculous this year. And like Phil, the Lions have Jameson Williams, who we think will be better this year.
But Njoku did not have 10 TDs last year.
How many do you have?
6.
I felt like he had more, but
now we got it. Now we got to go fact check everything Jordan said on this pod. I feel like, honestly,
yeah. No, you don't think that he could have most of their games are indoors. You don't think that it's possible for him to have another big touchdown season?
It's possible, but you're paying a 3rd round pick to find out, Phil.
Yeah,
you're not paying 6.
Where did he go? Where did he go in your guys' draft?
The beginning of the 3rd round, like the first pick of the 3rd round.
Well, you were wrong earlier. Just do a double check real quick and confirm.
He's been going 2nd round in most of my mock drafts.
36 overall. 36 overall.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. You know what? You're right. If you can get it, what about in the 5th though? If you can get him in the 5th, you feel a little better about it.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going in the 5th. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you give me $1,000 right now, Phil? Because if you can do that, I'll take that too. But realistically, you're not giving me $1,000. It's the same thing.
And David Njoku had 10 TDs.
He had 6. Like that, he had a huge man. That guy had 6 touchdowns. Like in the last 5
I'm just gonna start saying that. And LaPorta had 15 TDs last year. Can you believe it? Jeez, how could you doubt him? I cannot believe that you're just. I'm gonna have a community fact check.
But Njoku's capable of scoring 10 touchdowns.
He meant to say he's so capable.
Funny, if you love Njoku, yet he has your least favorite QB at the helm. Like he is the one guy who you hate the receiver the most, and yet you absolutely love him. Any other person who has like a decently reasonable QB,
I'm gonna use Trent's line. I'm gonna use Trent's line. He's tough.
He's tough. The guy played literally his whole face.
He hates Mike Evans because he has Baker Mayfield as his QB, and yet the guy loves David Njoku because he has Deshaun Watson as his QB. I just don't get it.
Seth, what are you thinking right now?
I just love it when Phil and Jordan fight. It's just the best.
Yeah,
it's like entertainment.
Yeah, it's like my younger sister trying to tell me what to do.
You don't have a younger sister.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that does it with our cash or trash. Let's hop into divas here.
The problem is I bet you'll have people listening to this pod and just being like, Jordan is so right and Phil is absolutely wrong.
so just doing divas, guys who haven't done, first time listening to the pod. These are things that have just kind of bugged us in football, bugged us in real life, just things that kind of irk us, like Phil says, grind your gears. Okay. So I had a good diva of the week, but Seth, I lost the picture. It was going to be people who wear 2 Apple Watches. So, but Seth,
I'm so glad you lost that picture.
That's such a bummer.
Trent is so stupid.
Today
He's like,
at
here,
work,
try on my Apple Watch. This new wristband is so cool. I put it on my other wrist that doesn't have my watch, and he takes a picture of me with 2 Apple Watches. He's gonna make that his diva.
Why is this guy going after you back-to-back weeks, Seth? It's uncalled
So
for.
malicious. I was just like, I
know.
really thought he wanted me just to try on his Apple Watch band, but he was
a
just
little
wanted
office hazing, never hurt
He was
nobody.
just thinking about putting this on the internet.
Yeah.
I have a diva that is very long. Okay.
So let us go first then. You can close. How about you
go? You're so annoying, Phil. You don't know a good thing when you see it.
Mine is quick. Mine is extremely quick. Diva of the week: people who wear knee braces outside of their jeans. Like, what on this green earth are you thinking? Like, wear shorts. I don't care if it's cold. We live in California. It's not going to get that cold. And if you really need to wear a knee brace, don't wear it outside your jeans. It is, or khaki pants.
You know how bad those things sweat though? Like underneath your jeans? Like, let's think about it. That thing probably sweats like crazy.
I'm sure you have to wear knee braces, Trent. That's fine. I've never seen them outside your knees.
Hey, you're the one with carpet tunnel, dude.
All I'm saying is knee braces are not meant to be worn. Gout guy.
Stupid.
Gout gacho, the gout cowboy. All right. All I'm saying is don't wear knee braces outside of your jeans. And I've seen people I don't mean to call people out who I go to church with. I've seen people at church wearing them outside khakis. So like if you really need to wear a knee brace that big, go up 2 sizes in pants and put it underneath your slacks, put it underneath your jeans. Don't make everyone else stare at that nasty knee brace. You're right, Trent. They stink, they sweat. Don't make us be exposed to all of those potential diseases that you could have on that nasty thing. Yeah. Wear it underneath your pants. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Knee brace outside your jeans, bad. Phil's mouthpiece and safety goggles he wears to church, good. So anyways, Steph, what do you have?
Stupid.
Honestly, I haven't had a diva experience.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Maybe me just like getting set up to get busted on the internet like is just insane.
Yeah, trolled.
I'm literally getting trolled.
Like this, and it's just he looks like more of a goober than normal. Jordan, what do you got?
I don't really have anything except that I thought the national anthem was pretty funny at the home run derby last night.
Yeah,
like that's pretty diva worthy. The lady came out saying she was drunk. Like, honestly, the worst national anthem I've ever like. Look, and I'm not gonna. I'm not like condoning.
She has to go to therapy. Like she's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think
going to rehab,
but it's still terrible. That still takes some guts to go out there. And the thing is, like, I'd seen a video of like how like she can actually sing, and it's pretty good. Like, and then like hearing that national anthem is like it's terrible. It's just like you were terrible, and you did it anyways.
The amount of like, because like I'm not condoning this, but I've seen like people function, like do things that like kind of like we're not like. There's guys I'm sure that perform plenty of concerts with some adult beverages in their system, right? Like probably most of the musicians you go see, secular musicians you go watch are any rock concert. They're
why do they have to be
not
secular?
Really sober, right? So she must have been really drunk to perform like that.
Yeah,
like not even close to like. I mean, it was the worst national anthem I've ever heard. Guys were laughing. The players were literally laughing.
They had to stop showing the players because they were laughing so hard.
They were busting up.
Oh man, I did not see it.
I thought you were going to say those little like Halloween looking costumes the players wore at the All-Star game.
Those are so bad.
It looked like they were like Paw Patrol themed costumes.
Such a
what they're
good.
wearing.
They look like trolls. The trolls
Yeah.
colors. That's actually what they did. Trent was actually watching Trolls instead of the home run derby.
He thought he was
I-
watching the
yeah.
home run derby.
I was watching the home run derby and thought I was watching Trolls, so I switched it
Yeah.
on. No, my diva of the week. Friday, I come home. There's a dog in my front yard, and my neighbor goes, "He's been here for 2 days. I've been giving him water," and I'm like, "I haven't seen him." It's like, I'm gonna put on the Facebook group. He's like, "Hey, man, I've been battling that for 2 days. It's not worth it, man. Don't do it." And I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna do it. It's in my front yard." I take the picture. I had about 18 old. I had 4 old ladies. "Have you checked to see if he's chipped?" "Yeah, let me just quit going to work after my lunch and go take him to the vet, see if this thing's chipped." "Have you?" 3 other ladies. "Have you given him water?" And check the inside of the collar. There might be a phone number. Just like the most do-gooders in the world, going after me because I didn't go take this thing into the vet. Like, all it is like, "Hey, this dog's on my street. Come check him out. Please put him inside. It is very hot out." It's like, no, this is not my dog. Like, I spotted the dog. Come look over here. I will help you look for me. Come here. I am not wasting my whole weekend holding a dog because I cannot find my dog. Because you can't find your dog. So maybe this is too close to home. Anyways, found out it's my neighbor's dog that's been just living directly next to me. And I'm like, "Hey, you got another dog?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got this dog. It's a great dog. It's trained." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It was in my garage for 10 minutes yesterday. Couldn't get it out." So my one neighbor's been watering it, but yeah, I was like, I put it on Facebook. They're like, "Oh no, that's terrible. This is our dog." And I'm like, "Well, it explains why, everyone but you saw it,
They thought you put it on Facebook Marketplace is what it sounds like.
for sale." But no, it's just like, guys, like, people like, "Did you put it in your house?" It's like, no, I didn't put it in my house. It's on my street. Like, it's in my front yard. Like,
What did you expect? You posted it on Facebook, Trent. Like, you are the diva here.
Just don't
People
fall
who
into that
do
trap.
stuff,
Just don't
people
fall into
who-
that trap.
Thank you, Seth. People who
And when
do
you
that.
put water and food out, guess what? The dog's gonna stick around.
Yeah,
I didn't
do-gooders
do
like
that.
you
I did
posting
not
on
do the
Facebook
water
are
and
what's
food.
wrong
I
with
did
this
not do the
world.
water and food.
Just
It's like
take it
these
to the
people that are
shelter
just-
and they'll get help.
I had one person that's like, "Please let me know if you want me to come pick it up. I can foster it at my house for a few days." I'm just like, these people should be like, I don't know. It's just a whole nother world. Like the lost
Why
pets
do
of
they
Facebook.
take them out to shelters for tags and then send them back to the owners? Don't they do that? Am I wrong there?
I have no idea.
Why does the dog have to go inside?
I don't know why
It
that
doesn't.
either, Jordan. I don't know.
I don't understand.
It was like all these widow ladies just like asking me, like, it's like, "Hey, if you go up 2 comments, 3
Why
in a
are
row
you
have all
going
said, like,
after widows? What is wrong
That-
with you?
it,
You
just
say
all
like
these ladies-
older people. You don't have to say widows. What's wrong with you?
people who
You
have been
are
in
the
these
diva
Facebook-
for saying
people
that.
who have been in these Facebook groups are like, "Yep, he's right." My neighbor told me, "Hey, man, don't do it. They go after people hard in those groups." And what do you know? He was right.
You're
My
going
neighbor
after
told me, and
widows. You're going after widows. Trent. What
they
is the
came
matter
after
with you?
me. All I
How do
did
you
was
know
try
they're
to say
widows?
dog was
Also, how
lost.
do you know they're widows? Also,
I have no idea. They're just old. There was one lady asking me like every hour and a half, "How is the dog doing?" It's like, I don't know. He's in my front yard. Like, I didn't water him.
No,
like,
he loves that type of attention. That's why he
No,
does podcasts on his own.
That's why he
Yes.
went to Facebook and said, "Help, please."
Yeah, exactly. This guy
next time I'm
seeks
going to do this,
attention.
next time I do this, I'm putting Phil's phone number on it. "Missing dog, give me a call. Don't have Facebook." My buddy found this dog.
$1,000 reward in my
Yeah.
number.
My buddy found this dog. He doesn't have Facebook. Here's his phone number. Give him a phone call. His name's Phil.
Oh man.
Never mind.
That
Okay.
is so cool.
All right. Well, hey, guys,
you have something wrong with you.
that does it. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.